Welcome to Violeta Ink new series, Copic for Beginners, where every month we're going to color a new image. I will give you that image. You can download it and print it as many times as you want. Also, there's going to be a package where you can see the photo reference, my finished project, and also the blending combination. We will color step by step very slowly so you have time to change your markers. If something's not working, just put it in the comments and I will help you fix it. We're also going to have new live videos where if you tell me about a problem, I can actually show you how to fix it. This is Elena with violetaink.com, and we sell Copic markers, refills, nibs, and Prismacolor pencils. Thank you.
We are starting with B63. This is going to be the marker that we use to underpaint. You're going to see that we're going pretty fast right now because I messed up and I'm not showing you what I'm doing. So I used B63, RV66, RV34, and RV63. This one is slower so you can see what I'm doing. I'm underpainting. That means I'm going to look at my image. You already have the image in your package and see what looks darker, what looks deeper, what do I think looks far. This is going to give it depth and dimension. That's why we're using B63. On top of it, we're going to use RV66. Now we need to make sure that RV66 covers all of B63 because RV34 is not going to be able to cover it. Then you're going to be able to see it. We don't want to see per se the blue of B63, but we do want to see when it gives us the depth of it. Now I'm going with RV34 on top of it. We have to cover all of RV66. And then on top of it, we're going to go with RV63. We're underpainting again. When the cookie is frosted, we start with the cookie, and then they do a layer of the pink, the dark pink frosting. On top of it, they do the lines with the light pink frosting. That means that the dark frost, the dark red, the dark pink is gonna be under. That has to give us the idea of, oh, then we need to make it look as if it's under. We need to do our two-dimensional image look three-dimensional. Same tactic. We are going with the underpainting, B63, RV66, RV34, and RV63. Now here on the next one, I'm going to show you the speed. We start with B63. That one. I'm looking at my image and I'm trying to decide how am I going to do it. I usually flick away from my body. You should choose already how you're going to flick, away or towards your body. I do it away from my body. So I'm choosing right now what looks darker, what needs to be darker. So this is B63. On top of it, I'm going to go with RV66. Now, B63 is the slowest speed of your flicks. RV66 is going to be a little bit faster. Making sure that we cover all of B63. On top of it, remember from the top, from the line, we're going to go with RV34. If you don't do that, then you're going to be able to see the line. You're not going to be able to blend it as well. At the end, the slowest, the one that is going to deposit the most ink, is going to be RV63. Remember that this is a chemical reaction to blend. If you don't think it blended this moment, give it a little bit. This is still working. Again, we are underpainting B63. And I apologize for my head. I just haven't done this in a while and forgot that if I move too close, you're going to be able to see my head and my glasses because now I use glasses. I should have used glasses before, but I didn't. And it helps a lot. I can actually see the lines very clearly. So do wear your glasses if you're doing this. This is RV66 on top of B63. Now we're going with RV34. And the lightest part that I see, remember, we are coloring what we see. Sometimes the image we have of an object is not what it really looks like. Kind of like the elephant. Everybody thinks an elephant is gray. And in reality, it's not. It's like brownish with different shades of brown, but it's not gray. This is the darkest little piece of it. We're underpainting again with B63. And I know this sounds repetitive because this demonstration is beneficial for beginners. Um, when I started coloring, I remember counting the flicks that the teacher will do to actually finish our project. And I will do the exact amount of flicks and it still didn't work. But then I kept looking and sometimes she would do 5 strokes and sometimes she would do 10. So I needed to learn how to do it on my own. It helped a lot to see the demonstration again and again and again and understand what is it that she was doing. So that's why I repeat this a lot of times. So we are underpainting here. This is B63. On top of it, we're going to go with RV66. Don't worry, I'm going to get faster. I know I'm coloring very, very slow. Um, but you will see I'm getting faster. Now, in this part, I didn't think we had a lot of shade or shadow, so I decided not to underpaint the top of it. So that's why you see me only using RV66. On top of it, we're gonna go with RV34. That one was pretty dark, so I decided I didn't need any white space to cover with RV63. Now this left part needed a little bit. We're going here with RV63 and now, 34, and now we're going on top of everything with RV63. So the blending happens. So our image, our coloring looks blended. We're underpainting again. B63. We flick away from the fence. And I do mix the markers sometimes. I just go over it again. So this is RV66. And even though it's just a line, I need to make sure that it covers all of B63. I wish I had put on makeup that day. I had no idea my face was going to be there so much. This is RV34. I was concentrating so much. And now this is RV63. If you want to see how I chose these colors, I actually recorded it, but it was going to make this video way too long. So we're going to release that in like a little short on YouTube so you can see the process of how to choose your markers and which markers work and which did not work. Because remember, the natural family combinations, sometimes they don't give you that wow look or that look that you're looking for. Like in this one, RV66 would be followed by RV63, but I wanted that mod kind of color. That's why I added RV34. And here we're just blending away. On this next one, let's talk about the speed again. This is B63. We're gonna flick away from our little fence. You have to flick away from the fence right away when you build the fence. Why? Because if not, you're gonna be able to see the flicks and you want it to blend. That was B63. This is RV66. RV34. And RV63. Don't worry, you don't need to write it down. The package is going to be on the website, and it looks as if you have to purchase it, but you don't. You don't have to enter credit card or PayPal or anything. It's the price is zero. So the thing is, there was no other way for me to add it to the stores for you to be able to download it right away. Um, you had to download two images, two packages. One is where you see the recipe, and the other one is going to be the image because the image had to be a JPEG, and the recipe it's a what is it? PDF. It's a PDF. So it's two of them. Just add them to your cart. If you're buying something, you can add it to a cart. If you're not buying anything, you can just put them on your cart and they'll be emailed to you right away. Just remember, it's going to be a 24-hour download. If not, if you forget or something, just go buy them again for $0 and you'll get them again. So we're underpainting here. And now we're going to go on top of it with RV66. Anyway, if you forget this, the instructions on how to download it and the whole thing is going to be in the description box. Now we're using RV34, and on top of it is going to be RV63. We didn't leave any white spaces. Why? Maybe I shouldn't. I should have. I think it's too dark. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. That's why I'm thinking right there. I'm pointing to it. So I should have left some of the white. And I have some friends and me, we always say, I can fix it with pencil. Yeah, I don't know if I can fix this one with pencil. This is pretty dark, very small space. So we underpainted with B63. And now we're going to go with RV66 and a little bit of RV34. And we finish it with RV63. So we're speeding up the video so you don't have to see the whole thing, um, because I'm pretty slow here. I've been trying to do this all voiceover all day, but I live in El Paso, Texas, and we have winds of 27 miles per hour, and it's loud here. I live close to the mountain, and I never lived in another place that the wind is so loud, and every time I start recording, you can hear the wind, and I think that you will be able to hear it, but not as much as it was earlier. So I want you to see the whole process, from beginning to end. But it does get a little bit, she's doing the same, she's doing the same, she's doing the same. So that's why we're speeding it up. This combination is the bonus combination that we use in the All About RV66 that was released last week. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and see it. It's the most simple for beginners series. I will show you the family combination, which in this case was RV66, RV63, and RV61. If RV61 doesn't exist, then sorry, I don't have my chart with me right now. But that is the order of it. Um, we are underpainting with B63. RV66 is going to underpaint with B63 and a lot of other Bs. We could also use a green, a YG, um, maybe maybe a yellow too, but it depends on the mood. I just want to make sure that this is for beginners, so you do not have a problem blending it, because there are some markers that you can underpaint with something else, and with something more. Let's say you want to make a greenish undertone. So we are going to go with blue and green, and blue and yellow. That's going to give us a little bit of the blue, but it will be a little bit difficult for a beginner to actually blend it. Maybe later we can add some series where I use different ways, different markers to blend it with, to underpaint. So you can see how it looks with this marker, with this marker, and this marker, because there are so many. And this is how you're going to learn. This is how I learn a lot of underpainting, just trying the markers. That way you can also see if they need ink. So try your markers, try different ways. This is B63 that we're using. Okay, go try it with B66. See what happens. It might be too dark. You might be able to see the flicks under RV66. How about my trusty B34 and B32? Those are the ones I use all the time. And I try not to use them so much in the All About series, because well, that's what I always tend to do. So I use other Bs. But if I was just coloring something for me, I will go to my B32 and B34. Um, but it's good for you to experiment so you know what you can. And the truth is, different markers will give you a different feel when you use them to underpaint. Maybe we can make a demonstration about that. We're going to start doing live streaming, so you can ask that moment and I can show you. Because with marker painting, it is difficult for me to explain in a chat or in a Facebook group how to do something. And I can explain it, but it might not get across the same way that I'm thinking it, and you're not going to understand it unless you see it. This is a visual art. So it's better to, if you have a question, we will have all the answers there, and I can do the demonstration that moment and show you, okay, if you do it with this, it's going to happen. If you do it with that one, it's not going to happen. So back to the all abouts. I show you the bonus combination, the family combination, what to underpaint it with, and the Prismacolor pencil that matches the original marker. In this time will be RV66. Why? Because when I use Copic markers pretty much all the time, I also use pencils on top. Like I told you earlier, I always say I can fix it with with pencils later on, and in most of the time I can. Right now that I'm taking coloring again, I notice that I have a hard time giving shape to the objects with the Copics. So I've been doing a lot of pencil work before. So I can actually see, well, this needs to be longer. This underpainting needs to be deeper. I need another marker to underpaint here because it's way, way deeper than the original one that I thought I could use. So now we're going to start with the cookie. This technique is called pointillism. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our lightest marker. This is going to be E30. We just need to make sure we deposit enough ink. I'll show you right now why. You don't need to, well, I do flick a lot here. Just making sure I'm not too outside of the lines. Now, remember, cookies are not sharp in the edges. So they have a little bit of crumbs in that. So if you go a little bit over the line, it's okay. A happy little accident. So just make sure that you do go over all of the cookie. Here you're gonna see on the corner, I don't know if you saw that, but I touched the pink and it actually leaked a little bit to my to the cookie. Right there on the corner. This is a very light marker, so anything you put on top of it is going to add color to it or not remove as much color, but add color to it. Let's see, we're about to finish here. Yes. And now we're going to go with E33. I haven't done this technique in a very long time. And I wanted to make sure that I learn from it again this time. If I go and look at the teacher again, if I go look at the classes that I took, it will remind me, of course, but then the experiments are not going to happen because I was already told how to do it. So I made it a point not to. And now we're going to go with E33. This is the next marker that we are using. And it's called pointillism because we're going to make a bunch of points. So you can just see I'm just doing little points here and there, everywhere, making sure I do concentrate a little bit more right where the frosting is touching the cookie. That's where you would have more shade and more shadow. So we're going to go all over the cookie with E33. We're not switching markers in the middle. We're just going E33 all over. And of course, after I did this, that's when I realized, hey, the mark and the stamp is going to be covered, but oh well. I'm sure I'll do better next time. So the points, they don't need to be in an organized way. It's just a cookie. So as you can see, I'm just doing 3 over here, 3 over there, then 4 over here, then 5, then 1, then... So it doesn't look repetitive. It doesn't look like a pattern. That's not what we want. The cookie is not going to have a pattern. It's going to be random everywhere. So now we're going to go with E37. We're jumping E35, and I'll show you in a little bit why. So we're going E37, and again, we're concentrating and right in the edge of the cookie, where the frosting is touching the cookie. You're gonna go on top of the other little dots where there are no dots. The idea is, again, random. That's the name, random. So we're gonna go all over the cookie again. We are gonna go a little bit on the sides for with the E37, but not too much. And now we're using E79. I wanted a different contrast, a higher contrast between E30 and E37. And E39 was like too chocolate, chocolatey, something like that. Anyway, I wanted it darker. And E79 is the one that I chose. I really like that one. And you're not going to use it as much. E79, we are going to use it in the darker places, like where you see a V. Like on the top, you see a V, where you see that it's kind of curving. You're going to see it there. On the left side of the cookie, you see some curves. That's in the right in the corner. That's where you're going to add more of the okay, she's gone. E79. So now we're going back and using oh my god, my dog. 33. E33 is going to have more colorless blender. That means that when you start doing your dots, it's going to start like fading whatever is under that had a higher number, like E30, E37, E79, actually even E35. You won't see much of a difference with E35, but you will see it's going to start kind of like when you use the colorless blender. But we don't want any white in it. We want it all to be brown. And that is why I'm using E30. So E30 is also going to do the same thing. The idea is that the points do not look like points anymore, but kind of like little shapes, tiny bitty shapes that are making the cookie. Let me see. Well, I don't know if you can see it right now, but in my hands, you're gonna be able to see that they always have some ink because I've been refilling markers. You can take it out with just alcohol. That's it. We do sell the how do you call those things? The tweezers to actually take them out and put the ink and all that. But since I do it so much, I always learn to just use my hands and then just use some alcohol to clean it. E37 is going because now I want a little bit more color. So this is something that we're going to repeat. We're going to go with E30, then E37, a little bit of E79, and then we're going to destroy those little dots so they can look random, more not like dots. And don't worry, it might not look exactly like a cookie right now, but it's going to in when we use pencil because, pencil can fix anything. This is going to be a two-part class. You saw this one is the first part, and we're going to release the second part as soon as we have it ready, but I think it's going to be next week with the pencil work. Now, this cookie is perfect the way it is right now. You don't have to add pencil if you don't want to. If you want just markers, this is it. It's a beautiful cookie. But if you want to learn how to use the pencils, then don't forget to watch the series next week. Thank you. Bye.